Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are, and welcome to a very sad and unfortunate news update from the Wrestleheads here at NerdTube. We are saddened to report that Scott Hall, at the age of 63, has passed away from complications from hip surgery after a pretty severe fall. And what happened is during the surgery, a blood clot was released and caused him to have several heart attacks. That's just the bare minimum of the information we have. He was on life support for a little bit. I know that Kevin Nash, David Meltzer, and some other and Sean Waltman were giving updates throughout the day. He was actually fighting for a little bit, from what I understand. But unfortunately, just within the past hour, he passed away. So, well, at the time of this recording, he passed away. So as I was a wrestling fan growing up, as I said, I'm not much of a wrestling fan nowadays. As a wrestling fan growing up, Scott Hall was a pretty big influence. He was kind of like this Shelton Benjamin of the older era. He was a good wrestler. He had a good gimmick. Never won a world title.
Yeah,
So
he's on that list of greatest wrestlers to never win the WWF title, in my view. I mean, and a lot of people don't know too. Like when Scott had his head on straight, he was a brilliant wrestling mind. Like
mhm.
he gave Sting the crow gimmick. I mean, it's fair to say that if Scott Hall and Kevin Nash didn't leave to go to WCW, we would have never gotten a crow Sting. We would have never gotten the NWO. We damn sure would have never gotten an Attitude Era for
Yeah.
a fact.
It
But
was really sad because I felt like he could have been one of the biggest creative minds in the wrestling business today.
hmm
He was very creative. He gave a lot of young guys pointers and stuff like that that helped them along in their careers. I know that I've heard some rumors about Scott Hall talking to a lot of the guys backstage in the WWF even after him and Nash left to go to WCW and
hmm
gave them pointers on gimmicks and stuff like that. He just had that mind that was like he wanted to hit that he wanted people to hit that, like, to stand out, because we can all acknowledge the fact that Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, stood out. He
Oh
wasn't a
yeah,
champion, but he is still a household name almost,
yeah.
right?
He accomplished more than a lot of these mid card guys that we grew up with and guys today ever will. And this is from somebody. This is from a guy that never even won the world title, but he had a hell of a career. I mean, he also had arguably two of the greatest ladder matches of all time with Shawn Michaels that
Mhm.
we're still talking about 30 years later. It's just unbelievable.
Yep. Um, so it's really going to just suck to not have Scott Hall in our lives anymore. And our condolences go out to him and his family. I know that they were involved in like they were there for his passing, so at least he was surrounded by loved ones.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they found him. I mean, it was,
I'm
at least he.
I'm I can honestly say I'm proud of Scott for taking these last 8 years and really turning his life around. Because I can admit I've always feared this day for Scott Hall. Like we're gonna get into it this Friday when we do Friday night breakdown. It'll be totally dedicated to Scott. But I've been fearing this day for a very long time, and I'm just proud that he won his family back, and now that he's at peace.
Yeah. And yeah, that, as I said, as DH said, he's, this upcoming Friday, we're kind of changing the format a little bit, and we're going to dedicate the entire Friday night breakdown to Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, his greatest matches, characters, influences, you know, influencers, people that he's influenced.
hmm
Um, and I mean, we've got, I mean, one thing I have to say, as I said, is I'm not more of a modern day wrestler, but we have got some banger wrestle heads here,
Oh
like
yeah,
between you and William, or well, Shred and Gary and even Ginger and even Zam sometimes. I mean, me and Zam aren't into it as much, but you guys are a wealth of knowledge. So I'm really going to be, even if I'm not there, I'm going to be tuning in because
yeah.
it's going to be a good show. So with that all being said, DH, thank you very much for joining me for this news update. It,
Thank you.
as it's sad, but unfortunately, we live by our choices. But at the same time, Scott Hall rebounded by his choices as well. So,
hmm
um, but now he's at a greater peace where he is going to be, he's loved, he's cherished, in our memories, and I'm glad that he was, he entertained us for so many years. So, yeah, anything else to add, DH?
Thank you, Scott, for all the amazing matches and moments and memories, and you'll never be forgotten. You will always be a trailblazer in the world of wrestling.
This is true.
Rest in peace.
All right, we'll catch you guys in the next one.